All right, welcome to the Tuesday Night Call with June Collier. We are going to cover some great information tonight. We're going to be talking about LinkedIn, and we're going to talk about prospecting and building connections on LinkedIn and finding people on LinkedIn. So tonight's going to be one of those great calls, and we're going to use this social media tool called LinkedIn. I haven't talked about LinkedIn in a couple of months, and so I thought it was due that we would circle back around and talk about this tool called LinkedIn. Before we get started, if you have a question, there is a chat button. It looks like a little oval chat window. If you click on that chat button, you can type in your questions. And from time to time, while I am training tonight, I will be able to I'll be able to see your questions coming in, just like I see right now. I got Kurt. Kurt, you need to dial in. All right. So let's see. He's going to probably ask me what the phone number is. I bet you. Let's see if I can copy the phone number down here. 8750. All right, folks. Give me one quick second as we get Kurt all set up. Uh, 171. I got to write these things down here real quick. 171-748-953. And when you get on these calls, be prepared. Be prepared. All right. Let's see. Everyone can dial in. Everyone can dial in. Let's see. PIN. It's 171-748-953. All right. All right. All right. We're going to go ahead and get started. So apparently we have a few new people on the call this evening. They're not used to dialing in and being on the webinar, so hopefully they'll get dialed in. But tonight we're going to be talking about LinkedIn. And again, if you have any questions, there is a chat window where you can type in your questions, and I will pause the training from time to time, and we will cover your questions as they come in. Tonight we're going to be talking about a social media tool called LinkedIn. You don't hear much about LinkedIn unless you're in the corporate world. LinkedIn is a tool that a lot of corporate America type companies use, Fortune 500 companies. But there's some great prospecting that can be done on LinkedIn. And so we're going to be talking about LinkedIn and how to prospect on LinkedIn. Now, let's talk a little bit about why LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a valuable piece of property. It is the world's largest professional social network. And so it's very different from Facebook. It is the largest professional network with over 107 million subscribers in the U.S. and over 300 million worldwide. But for tonight, we're going to be focused on that 107. Most of the members that are on LinkedIn are professional middle class. Professional middle class. $83,000 is the average household income of somebody that you find on LinkedIn. This is a perfect match for what we do in our business. Middle class people in my econ do very well. Socially connected. If you find them on LinkedIn, chances are they're on Facebook as well. Only 13% of those people on LinkedIn do not have a Facebook profile. And then finally, 40% have a college degree and 25% have some college. So a huge, over half of the people on LinkedIn are college educated or have attempted to go to college. So you got some highly educated people on LinkedIn. Let's see, I got some questions coming in. Great tool. I average almost one associate per month, and I'm not that active on it. Mr. Al Parker is one of the guys who I've been training on LinkedIn, and he took the training on LinkedIn in the early days, and he just typed in that he's averaging about one associate a month on LinkedIn, and I happen to know that that's true. Mr. Parker is here in the Atlanta area, and every time I go to a meeting, he's got guests at the meeting from people who he met on LinkedIn. So there's someone that's on the call tonight that can verify that this tool is definitely a tool that you want to be using. Let's take a look at some other things about LinkedIn. You know, a lot of people want to compare LinkedIn to Facebook, and so again, LinkedIn is a very professional networking site. Some of you who may just not be on Facebook or don't use Facebook a lot, sometimes the more senior crowd just doesn't like Facebook because there's just too much that's going on and it happens so fast. LinkedIn is definitely that site for you. It's not as busy, it's not as salesy as Facebook. It's a more professional environment. Also, the profiles on LinkedIn reveal so much more about people. So it allows you to be able to go through and take a look at who's on LinkedIn and who you want to get connected to, why you might want to get connected to them, and just some of the information about their background. Surprisingly, both LinkedIn and Facebook have a high number of people from the ages of 34 to 55. That's sort of our sweet spot. You know, 25 and older is sort of the sweet spot in our business. LinkedIn definitely has higher household income, and individuals that have higher household income tend to be, you know, better marketers. They don't complain about the enrollment costs, and they understand a few points and tips that we try to cover here in my econ. And because they are in that higher income bracket, they're paying a lot more in taxes. And so it's important for them, you know, a lot of them may be paying or earning close to $100,000. You know, they could be paying anywhere between $25,000 to $30,000 a year in taxes. And so those people are very interested in learning how to reduce their tax liability. Because if we could reduce their tax liability by half, you know, for many of them, that would put an extra $12,000 to $15,000 back into their household on a yearly basis, which is roughly about $1,000 a month. So that's huge for those types of individuals. And again, most of them are familiar or have attended college of some sort. Now, before we get to engaging people, there's two parts to LinkedIn tonight. The first part is the piece that you have to take care of before you start engaging other professionals on LinkedIn. See, professionals love working with other professionals. They don't want to work with somebody who doesn't have their stuff together. And so what you have to do before you even begin working with individuals or reaching out to individuals on LinkedIn is you need to make sure that your LinkedIn profile is complete and compelling. And we're going to talk about that tonight. I'm going to be talking about how to make sure that your LinkedIn profile is complete and compelling. And then when you prospect, you need to prospect with a niche in mind. And so the wonderful thing about LinkedIn is that you can take LinkedIn and you can use it and find people who are local to you. So one of the things that I tell people all the time with our online marketing is that online marketing is great. And I put people in the business all the time that are all over the country, Chicago, Ohio. I got people in New Jersey. So I got people all over the country. But the challenging part is that they're all over the country. And so it's hard to get that sort of team spirit and get those people together and round up and rally up and build a local team. And so you can use LinkedIn and you can target your local area and find people and build a connection with people that you can eventually build offline and move it from an online relationship to an offline relationship. So, you know, you want to build these relationships over time, nurture the relationship. Many people will get on these social media sites and they want people to join their business after the first conversation that they have with them. This is a long-term process. You got to build a relationship just like you would do it offline. And probably the biggest thing that I could tell you is having a consistent set of action activities that you're doing on a daily basis. This is the biggest thing, and this is the biggest thing that would kill you. And Mr. Al Parker talked about, he's having success, but he knows that he probably could do even better if he was more consistent with it. And the thing that I tell people is that you got to find your poison. And what I mean by that is every Tuesday I'm teaching all different types of things. But that doesn't mean that you should be doing all different types of things. What it means is you should take a look at the flavorful things that I teach, all of the different social media channels, and then in your mind, you should find out or figure out which one of those social media channels do you want to master. See, you can master Facebook, and if you master Facebook, then that's great. You could master LinkedIn. If you master LinkedIn, that's great. You could master YouTube, Twitter. You could master any one of those social media channels. But if you try to be on all of those channels, oftentimes you're not good at any of them. And so what I say is focus and narrow your focus so that you get good at one particular social media channel. I really do like LinkedIn. I like LinkedIn because my background has been corporate recruiting for many, many years, and I use LinkedIn for many years. So this is one of my favorites. So let's talk about, what your profile should look like. So one of the things that you want to make sure that you do, because on LinkedIn is very, very different. When in Rome, do as the Romans. You want to make sure that you do what is expected on LinkedIn. The first thing is a professional headshot. As you can see with this image of this gentleman here, it's a headshot. It's not a full body shot. It's a headshot. You want a headshot so that people could actually see who you are. You want to be smiling in your photo. You want to be approachable. See, this guy looks like somebody that I could actually go walk up to and begin to talk. He's got a smile on his face. So you want to give your best foot forward with your headshot. We're going to talk about headlines. Your headline should provide value. Your summary. So everything is going to look almost like a resume. You got a headline, you got a summary, you got a section where you showcase your experience. You can add videos, PowerPoints, images. You can add your fraternities and your colleges, and you don't want to forget adding your contact information. So we're going to go through all of these areas of the things that you should be adding onto your LinkedIn profile. And then finally, you want to ask for recommendations. And we're going to talk about, the recommendation section of your LinkedIn profile. And I'm going to actually ask for recommendations tonight when this is over with. So I'm going to show you how that's done as well. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and jump straight into LinkedIn so that I can begin to show you some of the things that you have going on LinkedIn. So I'm logged into LinkedIn. Good evening, Ms. King. Good evening. So I'm logged into LinkedIn, and this is going to show you what LinkedIn has, okay? And so when you first log into LinkedIn, you'll see your image here. It says your name, and here's my headline. I help entrepreneurs become profitable. That's my headline. And then it says improve your profile. So there's things that I could do to my profile. Now, LinkedIn is very similar to Facebook, or it has some very similar features as to Facebook. So right here where it says share and update, that's like putting something on a post if you're making a post on Facebook. So LinkedIn calls it share and update. If you want to upload a photo, you can upload a photo. And then if you want to write an article, you can write an article. On Facebook, we call it notes, Facebook notes. So an article is like a blog post. An update is just like a regular post. And see, right down here, you'll see the updates. These are updates from individuals. As I scroll through, you'll see that they're updates. And on these updates, you see that I can give it a thumbs up, I can like it, I can comment. So this is very, very similar to what you would see on Facebook. Okay, very similar to what you would see on Facebook. So LinkedIn has actually taken some of the features from Facebook, and they've incorporated those features into LinkedIn. So what I want to do, though, is I want to first talk about your profile and what your profile, really should look like. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually go out to my profile. I'm going to take a look at my profile here, and I'm going to click on View Profile As, and I'm just going to look at my profile as a connection, if somebody was connected to me. Okay? And so the first thing that you'll see in my profile here, on the left-hand side, you'll see a headshot. Very clean headshot, professional headshot. It looks great. I'm smiling. I'm approachable. Okay? If you don't have a headshot like this, when you get home on Sunday from church, just pull out your cell phone, take a picture, and that becomes your headshot. Make a good picture there, and you got a great-looking headshot. Okay? And then I have I've got my title here, my tagline, if you will. I help entrepreneurs become profitable. You can put your tagline anything that you want it to be. And then, of course, I've got my area, so I'm in the greater Atlanta area, and then I've got my industry, professional training and coaching, because I'm a trainer, I'm a coach, all right? And then I have my current occupation and then previous occupations below that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to scroll through here, and we're going to take a look at the summary. So your summary is basically like a resume. And so you got to think like LinkedIn is a professional place, so you got to think like a professional. So you've got to write a resume. And so what I've done here is I've written out a resume that really sort of talks about what I do and how I do it. And so I talk about what I do. I talk about how I do that, okay? And then as you scroll down, I've got my contact information. And this is very important because you need to put your contact information in your summary, because if somebody's looking at your profile and they want to reach out to you, but you don't have your contact information, the only way that they can reach out to you is by trying to send you a message on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, yeah. And so the problem with that is if you don't check your LinkedIn account that often, you could have someone connecting or trying to connect with you and you not know it. And so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you highlight your information right here in your LinkedIn box. Now, you'll notice that I use some different icons here. This looks like a telephone. This looks like a envelope. I got some fancy bullets here. You can use a lot of different, here's some check boxes here. You can use a lot of different icons on LinkedIn. And so if you want, you can do a search and search for LinkedIn icons or icons to use on LinkedIn, and find some of these little icons here that I've used. Or just come here and copy some of the icons off of my LinkedIn profile here. All right? Now, the other nice thing about LinkedIn is that I can include information here. Like I got videos, why choose my econ? And when I click on that video, it actually will pop open and start playing that particular video, right? And let me just close this out real quick. And so I've got different videos. I got videos that I've done. So these are videos. So when somebody comes to my LinkedIn profile, if they want to know more information, they can. So what I'm working on now is I'm working on creating a video that actually gives the full my econ PowerPoint presentation, and then I'm going to add that to my profile here. So this is just all in the summary. This is just the summary. And you can see how nice it looks because it's done very professionally. And then below that, hold on, I clicked on something, my bad. And then below that, you'll see all of these different images to videos, okay? So it's very eye-catching and compelling. And then when we scroll down, you'll see that I've got a skill section here, just some of the skills that I have. And then there's people who have validated or verified that these are skills that I have. They've done what they call endorse. So they've endorsed me to say that yes, he has these types of skill sets. And then below that, I have my experience. And the way that my experience reads is it reads just like a resume. From August 2014 to present, the Vice President of Training and Marketing with my econ. And then it just kind of bullet points the things that I've done within my econ. And then I got recommendations. I got 18 people that have actually recommended me. Now, this is very important on LinkedIn because it gives validation to who you are, and other people are saying, hey, this guy's a good guy, or this gal is a good gal because she's helped me and she's a professional in this area or that area. And one of the best ways of getting recommendations is to ask for them. You know, after I do a training tonight, I might ask you guys to go in and provide a recommendation for me so that you pop up on my LinkedIn page. And then below that, I talk a little bit about some of the things that I've done in my previous life. I don't go too deep into it, but I do talk about some of the things that I've done in my previous life. And that's important because there are people that are going to connect with you based on similar things that you have in common. And the one thing that I had in common, I want to tell you, I got a guy on my team. His name is Mr. Mr. Clyde Wallace. And Mr. Clyde Wallace was a military recruiter. And he connected with me because he saw that I was a military recruiter in my previous lifetime. And so we connected and we had something in common, and he joined my team. So you never know how people are going to find you and what they find in common with you. Education, they might find that you went to the same school that they went to. So you want to list those things down. Additional information, you know, I got my fraternity here, you know, because you never know who wants to connect with you because you have fraternities in common with one another. So what you want to do is you want to have a full profile. You can see that I have a very full, complete profile that has all of my information. That's so vitally important. And it's so vitally important because when you connect with someone, the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to go look at your profile to see who you are, to see what kind of caliber of person that you are. Now, here's the other nice thing. LinkedIn will show you other people who might be just like you. So when you look off to the right, it says people also viewed Mr. Ivy Stokes. Here's Mr. Keith Tucker, Mr. Alvin Curry, Mr. Brian Bean, Mr. Terrence Hill, Mr. John Pettiford. So see, these individuals know the importance of a LinkedIn profile. And you'll see all of them have, you know, great looking LinkedIn profiles. All of these folks are people in my econ. And so what LinkedIn does is it looks for people that may have some common traits that you have. And so this is vitally important because understand this, all of these people that you see here on the right-hand side, they're all leaders within my econ. Each and every one of them, they're a leader. And so you want to duplicate what leaders are actually doing. You know, a lot of times the leaders don't necessarily tell you or even think about telling you the things that they've done and how they're getting leads and how people are attracted to them. But you want to make sure that that you do what the leaders do. So I got a question that came in, and the question says, how do you do that? I'm wondering if the question is how do you get listed over here on the right-hand side here? And so oftentimes what LinkedIn will do is it will look at my profile and it will see what current company do I have listed as my current company, and maybe these people have these companies listed as their current company. It also might look at the keywords that I use in my profile, and it will match up with other people who have used those keywords. So let's just take a look at Brian real quick. Take a look at his profile. So you'll see that he doesn't have that he's currently with my econ. He's got Mentor to Millions. Let's just kind of scroll through and see if there's anything here. Now you see how he's actually included images and things that he has right here. So if I click on this is just going to take me to an image. It's not necessarily a video, but there's content that he has here under his summary. He's got a link to a video right here in his profile. He's got his experience, okay? And he doesn't have his detailed out like I do, and that's fine. He's got his experience, and then he's got recommendations, All right, so he's got recommendations from different folks. Again, he's got his information here, recommendations. Then he's got projects that he's done. So he's got projects that was recently that he's launched, okay? And he's got his skill set. So again, as we scroll through, he's got his college and he's got his interests. He also has a way to connect with him. This is how you connect with him. So there's a lot of information that he's put here so that people can actually find him. And so that's what you want to do, is you want to have a fully robust profile, okay? And you can see some of the same people are coming up along the right-hand side here. Some of the same people are coming up along the right-hand side. And then there's Mr. Rico McDaniel, okay? All right, somebody says, June, what if you're new in the business and you don't have much of an entrepreneurial resume? Any tips on how to complete the profile? Absolutely, absolutely. So your profile doesn't have to be all just what you do in My Econ. It doesn't have to be a My Econ profile. In fact, if you'll look down here, you'll see that on my profile, I've got executive recruiting professional, and this is what I did in corporate America. So a large portion of my profile was corporate America, right? And so let me be fair with you, because I've got two LinkedIn profiles. I got a LinkedIn profile under June Collier, and I've got another LinkedIn profile under my corporate name, which is Otis Collier. So I'm gonna go take a look at my other profile, because this will give you a better example of what, if you don't have the entrepreneurial information, it'll give you a better example of what your profile should look like from just someone who's working in corporate America. And so again, I still got a summary, and my summary was what I did in corporate America. This shows the last job that I had in corporate America and what I did, and it has a bullet point, reads just like a resume. I got recommendations. I got videos just like I did on my other ones, videos. And then I got even more information on just the work that I did, okay? So this is more of my corporate profile when I was in corporate America. And it just talks about the different companies that I've worked for, the different things that I used to do in those companies, okay? And so if you don't have a lot of entrepreneurial bullet points of things that you've done, then you can still use the things that you've done in corporate America or that you've done on your job, okay? So those are things that are really good. Recommendations are a good starting point. Absolutely. If you can get some recommendations, then that's great. And so let me just go back and take a look at some of the things that, now we're back on the June Collier profile. What you want to do is you want to think about on your LinkedIn profile, you want to think about what is it that you actually do in My Econ, right? What do you do in My Econ? So in My Econ, you know, one of the things that we do is we are a personal financial literacy company. We teach financial literacy. And so one of the things that every person in My Econ should be doing or should be striving to do is teaching financial literacy. That's what we do. We teach financial literacy. We teach the rule of 72. We teach people how to get out of debt. So we teach debt elimination. So see, these are some of the keywords that you should, be thinking about. Rule of 72, debt elimination, cash flow. We teach people how to create positive cash flow. One of the things that I might do in my header here is, instead of I help entrepreneurs become profitable, I might say I help people increase their cash flow, right? So you have to start thinking outside of the box and start thinking about what it is that you actually do in My Econ, and start using those bullet points as bullet points that you can put on your profile. Now, some of you may have some trouble with doing so, and so one of the things that I recommend people do is I'm trying to think of the website that you go to that. Hold on one second. Let me. If I run this search, I know I'll probably find the Indeed. So there's a website called Indeed. indeed.com, right? And so I'm going to help answer that question about what do you put on your resume. If I go to Indeed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking for some job descriptions that might help me find some bullet points of what I do. And so I told you that we are in the financial literacy industry. So I might put in here financial educator, right? Because Indeed looks for job descriptions. So I'm going to say financial educator, and I'm going to click on this, right? And let's take a look and see if we can find anything. Sales Pro, okay. Let's see, we'll do financial education. All right, so here we got some things here. We got a financial advisor, all right. And so what I might do is we got a personal financial representative. So what I might do is I might click in these, and I'm going to read the job description and see if there's anything that we do in my econ, okay. And so we got an overview. This is not a great resume because it doesn't have the position requirements. So not a good job description here. So we're going to back out and go to the next one. Let's take a look at the financial advisor here. Same company, they don't have job descriptions here. So let's click out of that. We got a personal financial representative from Allstate. Let's take a look at that. All right. And it says strong track record, prior experience. Don't see anything there. So what I'm doing is I'm going through some of these job descriptions to see if I can find something that's going to help me on my LinkedIn profile, right? So these might be bullet points that I would use if you do some of this, okay? So this is conduct training sessions and coaching. See, I would definitely use that because we do conduct training sessions and coaching. Conduct investment educational seminars. So these might be some of the things that I would do. Now, some of this we don't do because we're not investment advisors, okay? But some of these things that we actually do. So I'm going to be looking to see what it is that I can find that will allow me to use this type of information and help me build out my profile. Okay, and so I'll go through this, and then once I go through that, then that's when I will go and build out my profile. Okay, with my information here. All right. Now, let me show you how you do that, because many of you are asking, well, how do I do that? Once you get your LinkedIn profile, you want to go up here where it says Profile and click on Edit Profile. And by clicking on Edit Profile, every section of your profile now becomes a section that you can edit. So you'll see this pencil here. I can go right here with this pencil and change my name. There's no need for me to change my name, but I could if I wanted to. If I wanted to change my tagline, I help entrepreneurs become profitable. I can come in here and change my tagline to whatever it is that I want. And as you can see, each section has a pencil beside it that I can change. If I scroll down here towards the summary, you can see under the summary section, I can change this information if I want to. So there's all the information in the summary section, and I can change that. I'm going to leave that the same. The other thing that you'll notice is that I can move stuff around. So if I want to move this summary, I could actually grab this summary. Let me go back here. And I can move this summary. From up here, I can just move it. And I can move it and put it up under my skills section. Okay? But I don't want to do that. I don't want to move my summary. I want my summary to be at the top of the page because that's what makes sense, for my summary to be at the top of the page. You can see that I can also add these different videos here. And the way that you add the videos is let me show you in the description, the body description, how you add videos. I'm going to scroll down here, and what you're going to see is up under each one of these, it has add media. So I can add documents, I can add photos, I can add links, I can add videos, I can add presentations. So you can add stuff to each one of your sections of your job descriptions, okay? And so what you want to do is just want to go in here and add this stuff. You know, I can add skills. Let me see, are there any skills that I need to add? Let me give you an example of a skill. I'm just going to click on one here, add skill. And then what area of expertise? So let me see if network marketing is in here. Network marketing. So see how it brings up network marketing? So I might click on network marketing and it just added network marketing to my skill. So you can go in and add in as many skills as you want to add. And then people will give you endorsements on your skill. Okay? All right. And manage endorsement. So I'm not gonna touch any of that. The key here is to make sure that the profile that you create is a great looking profile. That's the key. It has to be full and robust before you start reaching out to people. Okay. So I just wanted to spend the first 20 minutes just kind of going through setting up your profile, making sure that your profile looks professional. And a lot of times what you'll need to do is go out and take a look at profiles of other individuals. You need to go and look at job descriptions. You know, the one thing that you should not do, I've seen people do this, you know, and it's sad, but I've seen people just come in here and they will just take my summary and they'll just copy it and then they'll paste it on their profile. And that's really not the way to do it, because each one of us are individuals, and each one of us bring different skill sets. And so everything that I posted here under my summary, I actually know how to do, right? So don't just copy somebody's, you know, profile. You want to make sure that you build a profile that's unique to you. Now, we may have some similarities. You know, you may want to come and take a look at my profile and say, let me get some ideas from his profile. You know, you might say, man, I like what he said about this, and I'm going to copy some of this. Or maybe you're going to go over and look at somebody else and say, you know, I like some of this, and I'm going to take a piece of this, and I'm going to say it this way, and you build out your profile. Don't just come in and just copy somebody's profile. Because what's going to end up happening is when you copy their profile, you're going to end up side by side, and so somebody's going to be reading their profile, and then click on yours, and it's like they're reading about the same doggone person. So you need to make sure that you do have some flavor in it that's just particular to you and that you're not copying somebody else. All right, let's see. I got a question coming in. Hi, June. If someone is using a business name, would you use your professional profile to draw people to a business page on LinkedIn? So, Alicia, LinkedIn has a section for people, and then it has a section for businesses. So if you have a business name, then what you want to do is you want to create a business profile on LinkedIn. Now, typically a business profile on LinkedIn would be a company that you have, and it would say that this is the particular company. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. So you see, when you look at the places that I've worked in the past, so here's eBay. See how they have their eBay logo? This is a company LinkedIn profile. So if I click on eBay, it's going to take me to the company profile on LinkedIn. So this is the eBay company profile. It's going to look a whole lot different. It's going to be different. There's different things that are there. So on LinkedIn, again, LinkedIn is a professional network. This is not Facebook. You're not building fan pages. You're not doing any of that stuff. On LinkedIn, you're building your personal profile. And then if you have a company and you got a company where you're hiring people, then you might do that. But if you're not, doing that, you probably don't need to create a business page. You don't need to create a business page. If you know, and I know a lot of us say, well, we got our own personal business. You got a personal business where it's just you and maybe your spouse, or maybe you and your kids working in that business. That's not the business type of page that you would put up on LinkedIn. These are businesses like eBay where you got 18,000 employees that are on LinkedIn and they're connected to eBay. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, and that was for Alicia. All right, let's go back to our profile here. So I'm back at the June Collier profile. So hopefully everybody understands how to create a good-looking profile. And again, as we go and look at other profiles here, we got Keith Tucker here. He's going to have a profile that's complete and got information on it and filled out. Okay. Some people have more information than others. I would recommend that you take the time and get serious about your profile here on LinkedIn. All right. So now let's talk about the special sauce. The special sauce is once you have your profile done, how do I go out and start connecting and building relationships with individuals? How do I start building relationships with individuals? So the first thing we're going to do is up here at the top, LinkedIn has this search bar across the center. There's a drop-down arrow. We want to click on people because we're going to be looking for people for right now. So let's click on people. And then over to the right-hand side, there's a section that says advanced. We're going to click on advanced. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to do an advanced people search, and that's how you bring this piece up, the advanced people search. Now, the first thing that I want to do is I want to search for people that are in my zip code. So I'm going to scroll down here, and where it says location, I'm going to change this from anywhere to located in or near. And then I'm going to type in my zip code, 30043. And I'm going to look for people that are within 10 miles of my zip code. Okay, I can expand it out to 25. But here's the key that you need to think about. I'm going to find them online. I'm going to build a relationship with them online. And then because they're in my local area, if the relationship online goes well, we can then meet offline, maybe meet at Starbucks or Panera Bread. We can meet at the next My Econ Super Saturday meeting. We can meet at, a lot of different things, okay? You can't do that when you are building a relationship with someone who lives on the other side of the country. It's difficult to build a team with somebody on the other side of the country. Trust me. I got plenty of them in my organization, and it's very, very difficult. So what you want to do is you to source your local area, because you'll have enough people locally that you don't have to necessarily look outside. So I'm looking within 10-mile radius. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to look for something that we might have in common. Okay? So, for example, I may be looking for people who belong to my fraternity. So I may go up here under keywords, and I might type in Kappa Alpha Psi. All right? And then I'm just going to run the search. And what that's going to do is that's going to probably bring up people that are members of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, and they're going to be in my zip code. And these are probably going to be some bros that I know. Now, before I run this search, we already know that most Kappas are African American. So we're probably going to get a lot of African American males that are going to come up in this particular search. So right there, I already know what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and hit search. And we're going to take a look at what comes up. So here we go. A lot of brothers that's coming up. And so many of them, this guy, Brian Jones, public relations at Kappa Alpha Psi, Greater Atlanta area. He's in my area. He is Lee Martin, okay, member of Kappa Alpha Psi. He is Lamar Handy, fraternity brothers at Kappa Alpha Psi, okay. Samuel, Polmark. I know he's a Kappa. There's Gregory. So now I get a chance to see who's in my area that we have something in common. So I got 5 brothers within a 10-mile radius here. If I expanded that radius to 20 miles, that probably would expand the number of bros that came up. So now I got 15 bros that come up, okay? Now, let's try something different. Maybe I'm not looking for somebody that is part of the fraternity. Maybe what I do is I'm a school teacher. And so I may say that I'm a teacher, and I may say that I'm currently a teacher, and then the company that I work for, I'm just going to put elementary school. So now what I'm going to do, and I'm going to tighten this back up to a 10-mile radius, I'm now going to look for someone that has teacher as their title. They work for XYZ elementary school. So when I run this search, I expect to find teachers that are coming back. So I got 134 teachers that are going to be teachers within a 10-mile radius of different schools here in my area. So now if I'm a teacher, I now can connect with another teacher to see we're looking for something in common, right? Now, why teachers? Well, if I'm a teacher, I know that those teachers, they get all the holidays off, they get the summers off, and I can talk to them about how to supplement their income with a home-based business. And I tell them I'm doing it because I'm a teacher, and that's how I supplement my income with a home-based business. Maybe what I want to do is I'm going to take out elementary school, I'm going to take out teacher, and maybe what I'm looking for is I'm looking for somebody who works for Uber. So I'm going to type in Uber, and I'm going to run my search and see if there's any Uber drivers in my area. There's 76 Uber drivers in my area, right? And so now here's some people who are driving for Uber, but they may not be recording all of their mileage. See, they're 1099, so they're self-employed, and they work for Uber, but they're not tracking any of their mileage. Could these people use the cash flow manager? Absolutely. Could these people use some knowledge on how to write off the expenses since they're self-employed through Uber? Absolutely. So see, I can use LinkedIn to do some very, very detailed direct searches. There's 76 results that came here. And this is just people within the 10-mile radius. If I expand this out, let's just say to 35 miles. If I expand that out, that goes to 729 folks in the Atlanta area that drive for Uber. Right? I hope you guys are getting this. This is really, really key because it allows you to narrow this down. Now, somebody might say, well, okay, I see the person, but what do I do next? All right? So let me just kind of show you the results here. So when you see it says first, that means that Douglas and I are directly connected, okay? I happen to personally know Douglas. I've coached him. He's not in my econ, but he's somebody that I've coached in the past. He's a driver for Uber, okay? He's in network marketing. He's an entrepreneur. And so, that gave me an idea. I can narrow my results down from 729 to do this. What if I'm looking for that Uber driver that's also into network marketing? So I'm going to just put in network marketing. And I'm going to do my search again and see what comes up. 39 people. So now I got 39 people that not only drive for Uber, but they got network marketing in their profile. Okay? You see how you do that? This is just, you see one particular profile and you go, oh, well, let me go try that and run this search and do this. And so the 1 means that we're directly connected. The 2, this guy Benjamin, this 2 means that he is 2 degrees away from me. What that basically means is that Benjamin and I don't know each other directly, but there's somebody in between us that we know. So if I click on Benjamin, I'm going to click on Benjamin here. So the first thing is I get a chance to look at Benjamin's profile. I can see what Benjamin is all about. So here's Benjamin's profile. He's an Uber partner, okay? Got some websites here, okay? Probably speaks Spanish. He graduated from the University of Georgia, all right? He knows social media, And then I just start reading his profile, okay? Seeing what he's all about. Check out his profile. He's an entrepreneur. He's a founder here. He's an entrepreneur. You see how he's got a fully robust profile? See, you can't do this with Facebook. This is LinkedIn. I can go through and start reading some of the stuff, and I get a chance to learn about him. He's currently driving for Uber. He's only been driving for Uber for 2 months. Okay? Social media. All right? He's a sales manager, so he knows how to sell. He speaks Spanish. All right? He was a sales representative for Vector Marketing. Man, these are some great people to get because they were selling knives door to door. So if they can sell knives, man, they can sell some my econ. All right? He's educated. Remember we talked about people on my econ being college educated. Okay? Went to Georgia College, Georgia State. Okay? Look at all his certifications that he's got. He's got some great certifications. These are all the languages that he speaks. English, Spanish, Chinese. I could use somebody like that on my team. Let's take a look at some more stuff that he's got going on down here. He's a volunteer. Okay. So he's got a lot of stuff on his profile, as you can see. All right. Now, he might not be into network marketing because I've been looking for network marketing, but what it did is it found the word marketing and then it found the word network, and that's probably why I brought him up. And so I might have to put network marketing in quotes the next time I run the search. But I get to see his organizations. I get to see all of his interests. So I get to see all of this information about this young man. And then what I want to do is I may want to connect with him. Now, I got 2 ways of connecting with this guy. If you look over here on the right-hand side, you'll see that the way that Benjamin and I are connected is we're connected through Bob. So Bob and I are connected first degree. And then Bob is connected to Benjamin. And so there's a link here where I can send a message to Bob and ask Bob to introduce me to Benjamin. That's one way that I could actually do it, okay? Or I could go to Benjamin's profile, and I could go up here where it says connect, and then I can say that, we've done business before or he's a friend, and then I can send him a message and create an invitation, right? And my message might be, hey, Benjamin, I see that you are an Uber driver. You recently started driving for Uber. I was wondering, do you know about being a business owner since you're a 1099? Do you know about the tax deductions that you can get for being an Uber driver? And he might say no, and then we start our conversation from that, okay? All right, let's take a look. I got some questions that's coming in. Okay, somebody says, how do I get that search bar? The search bar is already built in. If you got a LinkedIn profile, the search bar is already on your LinkedIn. It comes with LinkedIn, okay? All right, let's back that up one. And so Benjamin came up, but the problem is that he wasn't truly a network marketer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put quotes around network marketing. And what quotes do is it keeps those 2 words together as a phrase. So I'm going to put quotes around network marketing, and then I'm going to run that search again because I'm looking for somebody that's truly into network marketing. So you'll see that it took my results down to 3. All right? And so if I click on Lauren, here, she's with Uber, and let's see where her network marketing is. See if she got some network marketing in here. Let me do a Control F, network marketing. Don't see it on here. I see marketing highlighted in yellow. There's Uber. So this is why you got to go through this, because sometimes the search doesn't bring you back exactly what you're expecting it to bring you back. So you see we got marketing, but then we also have the word network. And that's the reason why this profile came back. So she's not technically in network marketing herself. But again, you can see that we are 3 degrees from one another. So not 2 degrees. That means that there's 2 people between us. If I scroll down here to the bottom, there's Elisa Tucker, and then there's this other person that Elisa knows who's there. Okay. All right. Got another question that came in. Is there a fee for LinkedIn? Well, what you see me doing right now, I have a free version of LinkedIn. There is a paid version for LinkedIn, but you don't necessarily need it. So everything that you see me do tonight is for free. This is the free version of LinkedIn, okay? But notice how everybody has a robust, complete profile. See, notice how everybody has a headshot. And that's not necessarily a professional headshot. I mean, you got people in the background. I probably wouldn't do that. I probably have a really nice headshot, but she has a headshot yet the same, okay? But notice how her profile is complete. And that's what's so important. You've got to complete your profile before you go out here and start building connections with individuals. See, let's take a look at, if you look over here on the right-hand side, let me show you the difference between having a headshot and not having one. You see all of these people? All of these people stand out, with the exception of this one person right here, Michael. I don't see his headshot. And so I'm probably not going to click on Michael as easy as I would click on somebody else. Michael has no headshot. He's got very little information about himself. He's just not somebody that I want to connect with. And so if you don't do that, this is what people are going to do. When you connect, when you reach out to them, before they reply back to you, they're going to look at your profile and see what you're all about. And if your profile looks like this, there's nothing for me to really see what we have in common. So that's why it's so important for you to get your profile together. Okay? So we'll go up here and click on Kevin. Kevin's got a nice headshot. Kevin is smiling. Okay? He's got his summary. There's probably some pictures that's going to come up here when my internet loads. And then he's got all the things that he's done. He's been in the military, National Guard. Okay? Got all of his information here. So he has a full, robust profile, and that's how they do it on LinkedIn. You want to make sure that you have a fully robust profile on LinkedIn. So the way that you do that, again, is you go up here to the search bar, you click on People, and then you click on Advanced, and then you're able to run your searches based on zip code. So you can go down here and click on zip code and then type in whatever you want, either the keyword or the title or the company that the person has worked for. So there's many different things that you could do. Last thing that I'll show you here is maybe I'm looking for other network marketers. So I'll go ahead and put in 30043, and then I'll put in the name of a company. So they're no longer around, or they changed their name. I'm just going to put in Prepaid Legal. And we'll just put the past. And we'll run that search. And what we're going to find is we got 41 people who used to be in Prepaid Legal. Right? So I know that they're network marketers. And they live in the Georgia area. So I click on their name. And here's a gentleman who was in Prepaid Legal. Don't know what he's doing now, but he's definitely familiar with network marketing. So, you know, it might be somebody that I might want to reach out to, tell them a little bit about what we do in my econ. Okay, so the options are unlimited. The options are unlimited when you are able to do these types of searches. All right, viewer number 8. It says, I see my search box. When I click on it, I do not get the option to click Advanced. Okay, so you're not looking at my screen. You got your drop down on the left-hand side. This is viewer number 8. You want to click on People. And then viewer number 8. On the right-hand side, past the blue search bar, the blue search button, is a link that says Advanced. That's where you click Advanced. Everybody that's on LinkedIn has that. So viewer number 8, do you see the advanced link? I need you to put in yes. because you should have the advanced link. The advanced link is there on your LinkedIn. It is right past the blue search button. It says advanced. If you look at the screen, you will see where I'm pointing to the word advanced. Okay? All right. So you have it. All right? That was viewer number 6. I'm talking about viewer number 8, because viewer number 8 says that they didn't have the advanced link. So viewer number 8, I'm waiting on you to respond. Just let me know that you see it. So viewer number 8, you do not have the search bar. All right. Viewer number 8, if you want to, you can give me a call because you should have this advanced search. If you're on LinkedIn and you're logged into your LinkedIn account, every LinkedIn account has this bar up here. There's nothing special about this bar. It comes with LinkedIn, so you should have that. All right? All right. Let's take a look at something else. So now that we know how to run our search, now that we know how to run our search and find people, we can also do some other things that are pretty interesting as well. So what we can do is we can find groups. So if I hit this drop down, and now instead of saying people, I want to look for groups. If I click on groups, and then I can type in the word network marketing. And now you're going to see that there are groups down here. Network marketing, entrepreneurs for success and profit. Let's see. Network marketing pro. So if I click on that, that's going to take me to a group. And here's a group. And the group has 1,800 members. And so I may decide that I want to join this group, because now inside of this group, all of these people are network marketers. And I want to just build a relationship. I'm not coming in here to sell anybody anything, because that's the wrong thing to do. I'm just coming in to build relationships with people inside of this particular group, because I know that they're all network marketers. Okay? And here's my goal. My goal is to connect with network marketers so that when I go back here to my profile and I get ready to share an update, I can put in my information here. When I share the update, my information is going to show right here in somebody's timeline, right? If they're connected to me, it's going to show in their timeline. And so my goal is to provide enough information and value that somebody wants to reach out to me. And then if I go back to these groups here, let me go back to the groups. I'll type in network marketing. We'll go to this network marketing pro. When I get invited to the group, I can actually post inside of the group itself. Now, again, we don't want to spam. This is a very professional area. LinkedIn is professional. This is not Facebook. So whenever you post something, make sure it's something of value. Make sure that it's something of value, okay, when you're posting inside of these groups and you start building a relationship and a discussion with these individuals, okay? And so let's see. I think I've got a section here that will show you groups that I belong to. So if I click on groups, these are, and it says my groups. I'll click on my groups. You'll see that I belong to several different groups here, like MLM Pros, MLM Network, and you'll see all these different conversations that are going on. And if I click on MLM Pros, I'm inside of my group. There's over 26,000 members, and you can see that this is what people are posting. So this person is posting some information about master the science of communication, negotiation, and closing more sales. So again, you see that they're not spamming. They're not talking about their business. What they're doing is they're adding value inside of this group. And what they're hoping to do is start building relationships with people in this group and then take it offline to then get them in their business. Here's another example. How to create a lead magnet that will grow your email list. Value. How to build trust with customers in your email list. value. See, this is very, very different. You don't see, hey, we're offering, we got a special $4.95. Get in now. You don't see that here. That's not the type of marketing that's done on LinkedIn. It is very professional. Okay, like this one is almost borderline kind of spammy. Okay, but it's good. 3 keys to recruiting up in your home business. How to build your online business with leverage connecting. So as you can see, what people do in LinkedIn is they add value, they give value to people, and then they hope to have some engagement with folks. And so, one of the ways that I would do this is I would read this article, and then I would I maybe reply to the author and engage with the author, okay? And so these are just things that I would actually do. I would engage with the author because a lot of people are not engaging with them. I'm going to engage with the author, and we'll have a conversation, go back and forth, and we build that connection, okay? All right, it is 3 past the hour. We've been going pretty hard on LinkedIn. What I'm going to do is if there's any questions, now's your time to ask your questions. I don't see any questions in the chat room. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the dial so that if you have questions, you can actually hit *6. Give me one quick second as I set that up for you. Let's see, how do I do that? All right. Let me do that here. All right, the session is in question and answer mode. If you have a question or a comment, you can hit *6 on your phone. It will unmute your line, and you can ask your question. *6 will unmute your line. You can ask your question. There is no question that I will not answer. If you have a question outside of LinkedIn, you can ask that question as well. So *6 to unmute, and I am listening. All right. I will take that as, is this the same number we call in every Tuesday? Yes, it is. It should stay the same. But you want to check when you let me show you guys where the number is. So when you go into your My Econ Leads page, when you log in, if the number ever changes, the number did change one time, but if the number ever changes, all you got to do is go right here to step 2, and then under step 2, you're going to see click here for access, and the number will always be listed here. So you'll always find the correct number here. It did change a couple of weeks ago for whatever reason, so I had to go in and update the number. But the number should stay the same. It should stay the same. All right, that was for viewer number 6. Thank you, sir. All right, no questions. We are going to close the call out. I want to thank everyone for being on the call tonight. Hopefully you got something from LinkedIn. Hopefully, viewer number 15 says, there are a lot of African Americans in this business. Does it inhibit prospecting non-people of color? Good question. Good question. That's an honest question. So let me break down that question. There's a lot of African Americans in my econ. Does that stop us from recruiting non-African Americans? Does that stop us from recruiting Caucasians, Hispanics, or any other ethnic group? And the answer is no, it doesn't. If you're not uncomfortable with it and they're not uncomfortable with it, no problem. Matter of fact, let me show you. I actually have a lot of. I won't say a lot. I was getting ready to say a lot, and that would be a lot. Let me go to my team page here. I have a gentleman that just joined my team from Arkansas. He's actually from Arkansas, and his name is Joshua. So here's Joshua, and obviously Joshua is not African American. You can take a look at him. You can see that Joshua is not African American. So no, I don't let that inhibit me from prospecting people. Um, there's a lot of non-African Americans that are in my econ. All right, viewer number 8 says, I was on my city's website and it stated that home-based businesses needed a business license. My question is, do I need a business license? Your city's website. Not quite sure what your city's website is. Viewer number 8, if you would send me that link, I can take a look at it just like you can take a look at it to see what it says. Typically, you do not need to have a business license to operate as a associate or distributor for a network marketing company. The license is the license that the network marketing company holds. So the network marketing company has a license. My econ has the business license. You are a associate or distributor for the network marketing company. So you typically don't have to have that, but if you want to send me that link, I'll take a look at it. But that's typically the situation where the company, the network marketing company has the license, and you are an associate under that company, representing that company. All right? Next question. Do you have any video in Spanish? No, we do not. We do not have video in Spanish. And I believe somebody has unmuted themselves on the call. Is there a question on the call, on the phone line? Okay, I thought I heard somebody unmute themselves. All right, so no videos in Spanish, no need for the business license, and no, just because there are a lot of African Americans in my econ, that does not prohibit you or inhibit you from prospecting non-people of color. We don't have any rules that will prevent you from sponsoring non-people of color. So go for it. Someone says, viewer number 20 says, if not, can I create one? Absolutely. You can create we got tons of videos that are out there that people are creating. So if you speak Spanish and you like to create a video for your Spanish people, you can more than happy to do that. This is your business, and if you have a need for that demographic of people, then definitely go ahead and create one. All right. Any other questions? Those are some good questions.
Barbara.
Do I need to get it approved? Oh, okay. Go ahead, Barbara.
I was wondering, how do I touch bases with you in the back office? I tried to look up your information last night in the back office because I thought I heard someone say that I could get your information from the back office or any upcoming webinars or, things like such as this, or calls on Tuesdays or Thursdays or whatever times that you're on.
Absolutely.
So
there's a couple of ways that you can get in contact with me. I've just typed in my email address and my phone number. My email address is June, June, at JuneCollier.com.
Got it.
June at JuneCollier.com.
Got it. I see it there. Okay.
My phone number is 678-837-5863.
Wonderful. Okay.
Okay. All right. Not a problem. And then there was someone that asked me, did they need to get the video approved? And so here's what I'll say. Currently, right now, there are a lot of people that are on YouTube that have videos, my econ videos, that they talk about the different things that, they're doing in my econ and, just different things about my econ. We don't require any approval for any of that. So the answer is right now, no. There's no approval process that you need to do your video in Spanish. This is your business. You build your business. Now, with that being said, don't go out there and do videos that, are not truthful. Don't go out and do videos that are not accurate. So you want to make sure that if you are doing videos, that they're truthful and that they're accurate. So right now, you have that leeway to create your videos. If you're doing them in Spanish, you know, do them in Spanish. We're not going to represent your video as a video that has come from corporate or has been approved by corporate. That's just you. You went out and created the video. You did it in Spanish, and you know, you're liable for anything that you say in that video. That's on you. That's your liability. My econ won't be liable for that because that's not a official My Econ video. But that doesn't stop you from going out and creating a video in Spanish if you feel like you need that, okay? Now, don't be surprised if you create the video in Spanish. We don't have anybody here at customer service that speaks Spanish. So if any of your Spanish-speaking prospects or any of your associates who speak Spanish, if they do not speak English and they need help from customer service, they're going to need a translator, so when they get on the phone with customer service, they can have somebody to translate. So hopefully you understand that. If you have no bachelor's degree, but an associate's degree and have never worked in corporate America, should you join LinkedIn? Absolutely. LinkedIn does not require that you have any type of degree. Remember, there's probably about 75% of the people on LinkedIn that either have a degree or have gone to college. So that means that there's another 25% that haven't. So yes, you can be on LinkedIn and you don't have to have worked in corporate America. You got a job, you did something, you can join LinkedIn. Ms. Sharon Carter says, would filing a DBA prevent associates from paying Social Security taxes for themselves or lower their tax portion? No. The DBA, all the DBA does is it allows you to do business as, that's what a DBA means. It allows you to do business as whatever name that you want to use. So, for example, if I decided to start a lawn care business, I could go and get a DBA and it says June Collier doing business as Collier Landscaping. And then that way, if you write out a check to Collier Landscaping, I can actually go to the bank and actually cash it. I can get an account at the bank called Collier Landscaping because I got a DBA that says that I'm now doing business as Collier Landscaping. But it does not prevent you from paying any type of Social Security taxes or lowering your taxes or anything for that nature. A DBA only allows you to do business as whatever name that you selected, and it recognizes that you can cash that check. Because otherwise, if you just decide out of the blue that you're going to call yourself Collier Landscaping, and then you go to the bank and you try to cash that check, they're never going to cash that check because you don't have a DBA, so they don't know who Collier Landscaping is. You won't be able to prove that you are the owner of Collier Landscaping, so that's why you have to get a DBA. All right, what would be the benefit of filing a DBA as well, I think I already answered that question. There is no benefit. A DBA is just doing business as. Okay? So hopefully, Sharonda, I answered your question on that whole DBA incident. DBAs is just a different name. It's like a AKA, also known as. We always have these other names. I'm known as MC Short, AKA this, AKA that. The DBA, all the DBA does, it allows you to do business as under another name, under a different name. Okay? All right. Good questions. Good questions. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being on the call tonight. Hopefully you learned something about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very powerful tool. A lot of people get a lot of leverage from LinkedIn. We do these calls every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll do it next Tuesday as well. So don't know what we'll be talking about next Tuesday, but I'll send out an email before the call gets started to let you know what we'll be covering. So thank you for being on the line. God bless. Good night, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Good night, everyone.